I guess the rumors were true, my people. We got 2 fight announcements. 2 fights that have officially been agreed on, have a date, and are ready to go. Jermall Charlo, who we talked about yesterday, was in negotiations with Armando Resendiz, the WBA super middleweight champion of the world, after being elevated following Terrence Bud Crawford's retirement in the sport of boxing. The sanctioning bodies are trying to figure out what to do. Armando Resendiz was coming off a May 31st win against Caleb Plant, took the WBA interim strap off of Caleb Plant, and the WBA decided to elevate him. You're talking about Armando Resendiz, 16 wins, 2 losses, just 3 fights ago, got obliterated against Elijah Garcia, went into the Caleb Plant fight as a plus 900 underdog. Wasn't supposed to win that fight because Jermall Charlo, his opponent, who he's going to be fighting on the co-main event of the David Benavidez versus Zudo Ramirez card, was on that card as well on May 31st. The co-main event of Caleb Plant versus Armando Resendiz. He took on Cornflake, was coming off a 1.5-year layoff. That fight prior to that was against Jose Benavidez Jr. And then before that, a 2-year layoff against Juan Macias Montiel. So we see both of these guys fight on May 31st. It was Jermall Charlo won his fight against Cornflake, and Caleb Plant was supposed to win this fight against Armando Resendiz. The rivalry that they had between them, Caleb Plant slapping the crap out of him. Behind scenes, behind stage at the Terrence Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence weigh-in. That was the fight that was supposed to happen. But Armando Resendiz messed it up. And all because of that. Look at the position he's in now. Went from getting knocked out against Elijah Garcia just 3 fights ago to getting a shot against Caleb Plant, plus 900 underdog, beats him. Terrence Bud Crawford comes into the sport. Comes into the 168-pound division against Canelo Alvarez, beats him. Who's seen that coming? Before Terrence Bud Crawford decided to even go up to take on Canelo. Armando Resendiz wasn't thinking none of this was going to happen to him. And after that, after Terrence Bud Crawford retires, Armando Resendiz gets elevated to the full super middleweight WBA champion of the world. Was in negotiations with Jaime Mongoya. That fell apart. And now is recircling all the way back from May 31st. Supposed to be Plant versus Charlo. It's Resendiz versus Charlo. And I can't wait for it, my people. On the co-main event, this is gonna be a goddamn war. Jermall Charlo, Armando Resendiz, 2 guys that are coming to fight. I can't wait for that. Now, not only did that fight get announced today, but also Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Yes, 27 wins, only 1 loss in his career. 2 losses back when he was a kickboxer. To who? Mirko Cro Cop. I think he had over 20 wins. Only lost 2 times in his career in kickboxing to Mirko Cro Cop. Only lost 1 fight in boxing to Daniel Dubois. It was a 10-round fight, got knocked out in the 10th round. Now, don't forget, that was a short notice fight for Jarrell Big Baby Miller. He got the call, stepped in, handled business. You can tell Danny Dubois 1 step ahead of him. But he wasn't in the best shape of his life right there. Let's be real. You're talking about a guy who's failed 3 drug tests in his career. 1 in kickboxing and 2 back-to-back. From 2019 to 2022. Did not have a fight since 2018 to 2022. Was supposed to fight for the unified heavyweight titles against Anthony Joshua, I believe in June of 2019. Remember when Andy Ruiz stepped in and ended up becoming the firstborn first, not born, but Mexican-American heavyweight champion of the world. All that happened because Jarrell Big Baby Miller fails a drug test. The IBO, the IBF, the WBA world titles was on the line. Unification belt. Throws it all away because he fails a drug test. Now, was supposed to come back, right? I believe in 2021. And fails another drug test. Back-to-back drug tests. Jarrell Big Baby Miller fails. Is coming off a win January 31st against Kingsley Abe on the undercard of Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. If you don't remember, I'm pretty sure you've seen the video of his hair getting ripped off his head. Shoom! One of the funniest things you ever see in the sport of boxing to this day. Jarrell Big Baby Miller will be going up against, on April 25th, a WBA heavyweight title eliminator fight against Linear Peru. Linear Peru. Yes, Cuban. Undefeated. I believe he has a record of 13-0. 8 wins coming by way of knockouts, coming off 2 straight decisions. Coming off a decision win over Jordan Thompson, a fighter who wasn't even a heavyweight. The fight prior to that was fighting at the cruiserweight division. Jordan Thompson not on the level at all of any heavyweight that we have in the sport of boxing right now. I mean, not every one of them, but the dude was coming off prior to that fight against Leonel Peru, was fighting Jaya Pataya in the cruiserweight division and got knocked out in 4 rounds. You just seen Brandon Glang go to decision with Jaya Pataya, even though Jaya Pataya beat the hell out of him. So that kind of shows you just a little bit, you know, just how good Jordan Thompson was, right? The Jordan Thompson guy was bad, man. He was bad. Linear Peru went in there and had a tough fight with him. Was getting clipped left and right. It says he's 6'4", the same height that Jarrell Big Baby Miller is. But he don't look like the biggest dude in there compared to the way Jarrell Big Baby Miller be making people look, man. He's undefeated. Had a pretty good amateur career. Had over 90 wins. Is coming from Cuba, so you know he has that experience. Fought guys like Frame Sanchez, Erislandy Savon. Beat these guys in the amateurs, yes. Also fought against guys like Alexander Usted, Filip Hrgovic in the amateurs. Lost those bouts. He is rated number 2 in the WBA heavyweight rankings, right behind Moses Atama, and is having to face against Jarrell Big Baby Miller, who isn't even ranked in the top 15. At least right now by the WBA rankings. This is the title eliminator fight. The winner will eventually get a heavyweight title shot, man. Absolutely breaking news. Jarrell Big Baby Miller, you know, continues to just make a name for himself. A guy who didn't, you know, he went a year and a half without a fight from 2024. That draw that he had with Andy Ruiz, where Andy Ruiz was dominating the early half of the fight. Second half of the fight, Jarrell Big Baby Miller started putting it on him. It was a great, great fight. He had a draw, was supposed to fight in 2025 against Michael Hunter. That fight doesn't go through due to Don King getting in the goddamn way. You had Jarrell Big Baby Miller being real open about it, you know, telling him that it was Michael Hunter's fault. I didn't pull out of the goddamn fight, right? Was supposed to fight Fabio Wardley. Was supposed to go in there against Fabio Wardley, but had to pull out of the fight due to an injury. Jarrell Big Baby Miller is hungry and ready to get back in there, man. And I'm telling you guys right now, I can't wait for this fight. I think Big Baby Miller got it in the bag all day. I think he's going to go in there and beat Peru. If you look at the way Peru fights, this guy, you know, he likes to come forward. He likes to come forward. He has the earmuff defense. He likes to take punches and trade back. Body shots, hard ones. Likes to throw everything that he has into every single punch that he throws. Has basically almost the same style as Jarrell Big Baby Miller, except Big Baby Miller ain't throwing all the power in just one blow. This is a dude who, yes, has power, but it's coming at you just banging on you. Volume up the goddamn ass. The dude's volume is ridiculous for the heavyweight division. And although each, shot isn't killing you, the accumulation of punches just becomes too much. And don't sleep on his power, bro. Jarrell Big Baby Miller will put you out. But this is breaking news, man. Jermall Charlo and Armando Resendiz. Jermall Charlo getting another world title shot. You're talking about a former IBF junior middleweight champion of the world, former WBC middleweight champion of the world, never lost his titles, and is getting another shot, this time for the WBA super middleweight champion against Armando Resendiz, man. Absolutely breaking news. This is the MMA Boxing Addicts channel. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. It helps the channel grow, man. It helps the algorithm grow. And we're out here trying to get as big as we can. We don't have the best setup. We don't have all the fancy things. But one thing that we do have is love for the sport of boxing. And we do our research, man. You guys know I do, man. I'm out.